Hello fellow makeup lovers, how are you guys doing today? Welcome. I'm super excited because we're going to be playing with the new Moonfall palette from Shroud Cosmetics. This palette is gorgeous. As soon as I saw that it was being released, I knew I had to get it and I set my alarm and everything. I actually accidentally set my alarm for Eastern Standard Time to begin with when it was supposed to be Pacific Standard Time, and so I was like on the website hours early just like refreshing, and I was like, something feels wrong, but I was able to get my hands on it and I'm so excited. So today we're gonna go ahead and do some swatches, do an eye look, and I'll let you guys know how I feel about it because it's beautiful. And I believe that this is based off of some shades that Shroud already had, but they turned it into a full palette. So let me just show you. Look at her, like the grungy tones. I mean, are you kidding me? Before we jump into everything, I do have an affiliate code with Shroud Cosmetics. It's just AMYLOVES. I'm not sure if it's going to end up applying to this palette. I know that whenever I went to check out, I tried to use Batty Beans code and it didn't apply. So I'm not sure if it applies to new releases, but let's go ahead and start swatching. I feel like I've been swatching so many palettes lately that have a lot of shades that it's kind of nice to only have to do 9, but first we have the shade Folklore, which is a deep, beautiful purple. I love how it has like depth to it, but it's not super vibrant. We have Artifact, which is a really like silky shimmer. I would say that this is a duochrome. It has a beautiful kind of tealy blue base and then a bright green reflect. Super pretty. We have Primordial, I'm not sure. I'm assuming that means like before death or something, which is a beautiful kind of like plum. So pretty. The matte does feel a little bit on the drier side, and you know what? The shimmer felt super creamy when I was swatching it to begin with, like in the pan, but it feels a little bit on the drier side too, just swatching it on my skin. But the pigment is definitely there. Next we have Night Song, which is another shimmer. This one is a really pretty, just bright blue shade. Although I kind of wish that there was like a silvery icy blue here instead. I think that could be really cute, but I digress. Next we have Rebirth, which is a very pigmented like navy blue, and it is a little bit on the drier side, but like I said, very intense. And then next we have Devotion, which really called to me in this palette because it's a beautiful light purple with like a silvery reflect going on, just super cute. I mean, those 3 shades together would be a nice look, I'm not gonna lie. Next we have Moon Moss, which is a really pretty grungy green shade. I love that one. We've got Soulstone, which looks to be a duochrome in the pan, but let's see. Okay, so it has like a hot pink shift, but the base is more of like an orangey copper moment. Super pretty. And then last we have Sential, which is kind of like a deep teal. There is the entire palette swatched out. I think it looks like such a cute color story, and I don't even know which direction to go. Part of me wants to go full green, part of me wants to do full purple, part of me is feeling like the pink would be such a fun pop. Oh my gosh, I don't know. All right, I'm just gonna go ahead and throw on the Alter Ego eyeshadow primer real quick. I feel like my brows are a little bit intense today, but I just did them for the first time in a while. I think I like how they look. Who knows how this is gonna turn out, but I'm gonna start off with the shade Folklore first. There's definitely a lot of kick up coming off that shadow. It's very soft, but just gonna go ahead and start that off in my outer V and then I'm going to slowly bring that maybe just about halfway into the crease. But I wanted to start off most of the pigment in my outer V, just to keep it a little bit on the softer side. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's not shearing out as good as I would want it to. It's kind of doing like the little lines. I'm gonna go in with just a touch more. Let's see. It's not blending the absolute best. It is a little bit of a darker color, so I'm not giving it the easiest job ever. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and do the other side. It has so much pigmentation though. It's so pretty. Like such a beautiful color. There's not really any like transitional shades in this palette for my skin tone, which is fine. Like I can just pull into something else. But for the purpose of a first impression, I really wanted to just stick to this palette. So that's why I'm trying to blend this shade through my crease. It looks a little bit better on this side. I'm not obsessed with the performance, but I think we can move on. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab Rebirth now on a slightly smaller blending brush. I'm just gonna add a bit more depth to the outer V right here. Kind of just laying down the shade first, and then whatever's left over will blend into the purple. I don't know if this is gonna ruin the look or not, because I wasn't initially planning to do this, but I think I'm gonna take a little bit of that like plummy shade Primordial, just a tiny bit on that smaller blending brush, and I'm gonna run it through the front of my crease right here. Just for a little pop. And then just gonna soften that out as much as I can. It's not really softening out that much. I guess my thing with this palette is I would say like sometimes going into color stories like this, it doesn't matter if there's a lighter transition shade for me because they blend so well that you can kind of use them really light or you can use them really dark, and it's like that versatile kind of shadow. But with this, I feel like they're more just like that super uber pigmented kind of shade that it's not shearing out very well or blending out when I'm trying to use it a little bit on the lighter side. It's giving black eye right now, but it'll look cute in a minute. I think I am gonna try and do a little bit of a pop of green on the lower lash line because I want to use as many of the colors as I can. So I'm gonna start off with just a touch of Rebirth, just connecting what we already have going on, just right here. Just a little tiny bit. And then next I'm gonna go into Sential. I don't know why I feel like I'm saying that wrong, but just gonna pop that onto the middle of the lower lash line. Then next we're gonna go into Moon Moss. Pop that right here. Ooh, you guys, I might actually have a plan to use every single shade in this palette, which is exciting to me. So just blending out Moon Moss a little bit. And then lastly, for the lower lash line, we're gonna go into Artifact. Pop that on right here. Kind of going towards the inner corner. Ooh, that's very pigmented. That's so pretty. I did get a little bit of fallout, as you can see, but it's kind of my own fault because I did not tap off the brush. Next, we're gonna go into the shade Devotion, and I'm gonna use that as my inner corner shade. Maybe bring it up onto the lid just a little bit. Right here. Then maybe we can kind of bring that up to the crease. Whew, that's packing on really well. A little bit more fallout. Now I think I'm gonna use my finger and I'm gonna go into the shade Night Song, just using a little touch of that kind of on the outer half of the look. It's very pigmented, so a little goes a long way. Over the outer V, leaving some space in the middle, and more fallout. Goodness gracious. I'm really glad that I powdered my face today. Lastly, I'm gonna grab Soulstone on my finger. I'm just gonna pop that in between the purple and the blue. Blend it into each shade. Get a good little gradient going. I feel like this look is so cute, but it's just bothering me that it's just not like very blended. Like I just don't love the edges right now. I'm gonna take a shade from the Natasha Retro Glam palette just because I have it in front of me. I think I'm gonna use this one right here called Holly, that kind of like soft pink. And I'm just gonna see if I can use that right here, just along the edge to kind of blend everything out a little bit. I probably should have done this before the shimmers, but I thought the shimmers were gonna pull everything together. And I'm still not completely loving it, so Holly it is. So there is where we're at. I'm gonna go ahead and throw on some mascara just using the L'Oreal Telescopic Lift, and then I'll be right back. I honestly feel like a purple blush would be so cute with this look, so I grabbed an eyeshadow from Lethal. This is the shade Crossroads. It's like a purple soft moment. So I'm just gonna grab a tiny bit of that. It's pretty pigmented. Ooh, goodness. Okay. Just try and blend that out. She's cute. And just to add a little bit of highlight, I'm gonna go into Laura Geller Pixie Pearl with that same fluffy brush from Kaleidos. Just add a little something something. Last but not least, I'm just gonna throw on the Fenty Glow Gloss Bomb. All right, y'all, so this is the finished look with the Moonfall palette, and I do like how it turned out, but I don't love how it turned out. I feel like the colors are really beautiful. The color story together is stunning, but I did have a little bit of issues with blending. I just feel like these are super, super intense, deep matte shades, and I can see how they will be really beautiful for certain uses. But as far as shearing them out, it was not the vibe. It wasn't happening, unfortunately. So it's not like my most beautifully blended look ever. I do really like the color story altogether, and like considering that I used every single shade in the palette and the look is like very pretty and like it all kind of flows. I love that. I feel like I will continue to use this palette, but it's going to be in conjunction with other things, and I'll probably use pops from this palette. I don't foresee myself ever doing another look with this palette all by itself. Maybe with the greens I could get away with it, but I just wasn't super, super impressed with the matte's blending ability. I would love to know if any of y'all picked up this palette, if you're enjoying it, what your thoughts are on the shadows and the formula. Feel free to leave your thoughts in the comment section, but that is going to be everything for today's video. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you have not subscribed yet, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!